What I'm going to say in this video is going to potentially be something that arises negative emotions in someone watching it, but I wanted to say that this video that is not to reprimand you, it's not to make you feel worse about yourself. It's being genuine and honest about the fact that this is my reality, and I know because I am one of a billion, this is someone else's reality too. So this could be a reminder that you're not alone in this. This could be a reminder that you should be grateful for what's going well in your life. And this should also be a reminder that the only thing that kills dreams the most is doubt. The only thing that stops goals is doubt, self-rejection, self-denial. Because if you close the door before anyone else closes it for you, you've already ended the possibility of what could be. What if? If you just keep going, then maybe it never works out. But you can't say you didn't go after it. You can't say that you didn't try. You didn't write yourself off before the story even started. You are a character. You are meant to keep going. And the harshest piece of advice I'm here to tell you is you can do everything right and still get a negative outcome. You can work your hardest you've ever worked in your life and still not get the reward that you're working towards. You can be the best that there is and it still not be given to you. There's so many times I've asked myself, what am I doing wrong? What is wrong? Why does it just feel like things aren't meant for me? Like, is it me? And yeah, it could be me because I know I haven't been working as hard as I could be, right? But I'll go a step further to say, even in the moments where I think I'm doing bad, there's people who think I'm doing amazing. In the moments where I think everything's going wrong, there's people saying that I inspire them. In the times where I'm like, I really should give this up, there's people who say, you have so many followers. To give a story, I recently was watching a reality TV show and there was a person on the show who considered themselves a working actor. I was on social media and someone had made the comment on social media, this person only has 3,000 followers. And they have the audacity to call themselves a working actor. Now, mind you, this person has an IMDb. They have acting credits that they are credited for. This person is getting guest star roles and co-star roles, right? Someone responds to that person's comment and says, that's a lot of followers. 3,000 followers is a lot of followers. And I shared this with a friend who's also into film and working towards the industry and somebody that we will be making a movie together one day. I shared that with her because I've had people tell me, you've got a lot of followers on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, because I have together 6,000, which sounds so weird to say, but separately, roughly over 2,000 followers on different accounts. And I have other accounts with smaller followings, but my biggest followings altogether amass to over 6,000. And I've never seen that as big because I'm comparing myself to the people with millions, the people with 100,000s, the people with the upper thousands, if you will, like 50,000 versus my 2,000. And I sent that to my friend and pretty much was like, this sounds like a conversation of me versus people I know. People I know say, you have a lot of followers, you have a big following. They consider me an influencer, even though I don't necessarily make a full-time income off of it. I occasionally, as I've talked about on this channel, grow AdSense, but not enough to get paid. It's just growing, if you will. No one's given me a brand deal. In the past, I have done free collaborations for content with different household names. So I say that to say, 2 people popped up on my timelines later that week. These 2 people are what I would consider working actors. One is in a play, a traveling play. The other is on Broadway, has a role on Broadway. My followings on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are bigger than these people that are working actors. And it gave me that perspective of, not that I think I'm better than them, not that I think I'm extraordinary. I'm just human. I think it's very flattering when people want to follow me and they care about what I say and they want to see my journey and they think I'm worthy of checking in on, because I like to create my art. I like to share who I am. I've always been very open in my content. I'm not perfect. Do I think I'll be doing this forever? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I one day do hit the successes I want to hit and I delete all my pages, or I have somebody else run it, whatever the case may be. But I say that to say, here I was already selling myself short and saying, I have such a small following. I'm not really a creator. I'm not really an actor. Here I see someone else reiterating that mindset, that like feeding into your negative beliefs, reaffirming your negative beliefs. But then here's an example of people that are legit working actors, that are on Broadway and doing plays, and I have more followers than them. So that doesn't define what is and isn't considered professional presence of actors. The same way I could have just written myself off of, oh, someone could say the same thing about me. Okay, there's working actors with less followers than you, so now that doesn't even count. That doesn't even matter. Your validation should not come from others. Your validation should come from you. I say this a lot. There is no one else to perform for. There is only you. I said this recently. My art is for me. My art is not for you, which I took from an interlude I listened to, which the speaker in the interlude said, you think this is for you, but I do this for me. And that really stood out to me because I do create art. I do share the things I know because I like to create those things and I like to share my passions. I do it because I know people will consume it and hopefully my community and my people find me, right? But I also do it because it comes from within. I technically do this for me and it benefits the both of us. To not create out of external validation, to create out of internal expression. And so I leave you with this last example as a pageant woman, as a woman in film, an actor. A really good example of the message I'm saying here, and I will be wrapping this up and I will repeat it. The harshest advice I can give you, because no one's ever told it to me, and I'm finally learning this lesson now, and thank God I'm learning it now in my young age and in my 20s. You can do everything right and still lose. You can do everything correct and not be picked. You can work your hardest and be the best one there and they still won't choose you. And a real life example that comes to mind is, I think about Halle Berry. She is also a woman that was in pageants. She also is an actor. And in her pageant career, she was the first runner-up. In her pageant career, she never necessarily got like the head title of any of the competitions she was in. She won competitions, yes, to get to that next step, but she never won like the ultimate title. And I believe I saw somewhere that there was an interview at one point in her life where someone had asked her about that. And at that time, she'd already won her Oscar. And I'm not going to put words in her mouth. I'm just going to paraphrase what I remember-ish, what was said. Essentially that she has an Oscar. She doesn't even know what the winner of that said competition is up to, or if she followed her dreams, if you will. In this situation, maybe she didn't win that major competition. Maybe she could have been the best and she was close enough, but she didn't get it. She still went on to get an Oscar, which was something much more pivotal to her life and her career. Especially in the position she was in and the historic Oscar win that she had. So with that, you are so important, you are so loved, you are so blessed. Do not let setback define you. Do not let defeat close your chapter and end your story. You maybe were the best one for it. It just wasn't meant for you in that time, but that doesn't mean that there's not greater things waiting for you at the end of your journey.